Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? It is August. It is Texas Chainsaw Massacre month. So, continuing on with my reviews, watching each film, originally planned to be in the order of disliked to favorite. We already know what the favorite's going to be. It is definitely going to be the OG right there, Gunnar Hansen. If I was talking just about Leatherfaces, but in terms of the film itself, yes, yeah, the OG is definitely going to be number one. It always is, and it always will be. But anyway, yes. So I've already watched. What have I watched? Leatherface, the backstory one, Chainsaw Massacre 3D, the Next Generation, and then last night I finished rewatching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Not the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's kind of cool, right? You just take off the word "the" and it's a whole new title. But yeah, of course, I'm talking to the one that came out in 2022 and is on Netflix, where it has stayed since and will probably stay forever. Oh, really, it's even messier back behind me than it was yesterday. But and where it'll stay because nobody really wants to have anything to do with this movie. And I guess from a business perspective, I can kind of see why it's not really the most profitable thing, I guess, and it's not really that great of a movie, but it's not really terrible either, to be honest. And I'm going to go through a few things here, talking about some good things, some bad things, and if you want to do a good thing and subscribe, help me get up to 1,000 subs. I'd really appreciate that. Just a little goal I'm setting for myself, and yeah, I'm not monetized, as you can probably tell, with my really uh, computer tech amazing quality videos. It's just me sitting in front of a camera shooting shit about stuff, usually movies or beer or movie stuff. I don't know, random shit. But anyway, and if you want to like and comment, do all that fun stuff that comes along with YouTube, I do love the comments. I do love the banter. And I'm not a pussy, so if you want to insult me, go ahead. That doesn't really phase me. I'll just insult you back. But as long as there has something to do with the video, just not you just being a douche. Then I probably just ignore you. But anyway, yes, this came out in 2022. It was originally filmed in 2020, and the release date was supposed to be 2021, but it had a lot of bad viewings and it just did not go well. So it just kind of sat on the shelf for another year until Netflix took it, and that's where it's at, as I stated originally. I know a lot of people like myself were really excited when this was coming out. A lot of serious Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans, especially fans of the original film, knowing that this was going to be another direct sequel, and just kind of to see how it goes. And well, we saw it, and thankfully, it's the shortest runtime of all the movies. If you cut out the end credits, it's only a runtime of an hour and 14 minutes. So there's that. But I keep shitting on the movie. There is actually some good things I'm going to talk about, good and bad. It stars Sarah Yurkin. I can't commit this to memory, so I wrote it down. I am cheating on this one, but yeah, Sarah Yurkin, Elsie Fisher, Jacob Lattimore, Mo Dunford, Olwen Ferreira. I think I'm saying her name right, as a really poorly needed, unneeded character of Sally Hardesty in her golden years as a sort of a vigilante, Laurie Strode imitation character. Nothing against the actress herself, it's just the character sucked and really kind of. I'll talk more about that in a minute. And then Mark Burnham as Leatherface. And I will say he didn't make a bad Leatherface. There are other better Leatherfaces that have come up in I believe it's 9 films in the entire series, but he did a good job. I thought he suited the character. He had the size for it. He didn't have the mannerisms of that Gunnar Hansen brought to the character, and seemed a little bit too intelligent. But again, I'll touch on that in a second. And John Larroquette once again reprising his role as the narrator. In the original film, he was actually paid literally one joint to do just to do the iconic opening narration that is fantastic. Really sets up that film, but we're not talking about that film. We're talking about this film. But I think he might be up to about a brick of hash at this point. I think he's earned it. I think his career and being super awesome has probably earned him a little bit, you know. And Anyway, yeah. So I'll talk about some of the bad things, some of the things that didn't make sense, and then I'll get into the good things, and then we'll call it a day. So some of the bad things that I scribbled down here. First of all, the picture that Sally carries around with her makes absolutely no sense. That picture really should not exist. Um, some people say, oh, it's the picture that the hitchhiker took. Well, a couple things wrong with that. The first and obvious thing is he set the picture on fire when Franklin refused to buy it for, what did he say, $4? Whatever it was, $4, 5. Anyway, thought Tracy was up. She's sleeping. But $4, whatever the price is, I can't remember now. But he set that one on fire. And also when he took the picture, which, hold on a second. This is what I wanted to get. We took the picture with this camera. This is obviously the miniature that came with the hitchhiker character, NECA figure. But I don't know. I just thought I'd show it off because I like it. Put it right there beside the saw. But anyway, yeah. When he takes the camera, he literally points it right at Franklin and takes the picture. It was not a pulled back group shot. Now, I was trying to look at the picture on the screen to see if Sally was somehow like maybe she was when they reproduced that little picture for the film, if maybe they deleted Sally, digitally got rid of Sally from that photo, and one could argue it was a picture she took with a Polaroid earlier that day, which would not make any sense because it is literally a screenshot for the movie. But I couldn't really see it. You don't really get a super close up of the picture and get to see it long enough to really notice. So that was one thought I had, but still, no, that picture should not exist. It makes zero sense. So there's that. And also just the Sally Hardesty character in general in this film. Like, I would not believe for a second that after going through all that she would become this crazy vigilante, hunting him down for years and years and years. And he's also just in a town somewhere. I think people would pick up on this big hulking dude that's living in sort of like, it's not really an orphanage. I don't know what it's for, special persons or something. I don't know what it actually was supposed to be, but she was taking care of these kids. He wasn't really a kid, and no one would notice him. But whatever. Anyway, what else here? And the saw too. He has the same saw, and he has it behind some drywall or whatever in a room, or behind the wall in a room. Smashes through it like he saved it after all these years. It was still working fine. It wasn't all rusty. It was there. Pulls it out. Then he pulls it out of the wall, puts it down. Now he's tinkering around for a bit. So one could argue he was maybe doing some work on it, but I don't think he'd have enough time to fix a saw that's been in the damp wall like that for all these years. And it magically starts up with some sort of magical gasoline that is still good. Now, maybe he had some gasoline in the room, filled it up. That is an argument. That is a possibility, but I don't really buy it because I don't really think he's that. The original Leatherface would not, I don't think he would have the foresight or the intelligence to really do that, but who knows. But again, it's a fictitious story and it's only for fun, so I'm not really taking it too seriously because I find it an entertaining movie. It's just not that great in comparison to some of the others. But anyway, yes, and also the other thing, he still has his butcher apron. Why? I mean, he's not chopping up people that I'm aware of. I mean, there is a shot of a big cleaver stuck in the kitchen, stuck into a butcher block. So who knows? But I think in a town like that where everybody's living in the same street, like they're gonna notice some people missing, and random barbecue after the people were missing. I guess I don't know, but anyway, it's just weird that he would still be wearing that butcher's apron and have the chainsaw in working order, hidden in a wall. It's just bizarre. Okay, what else? Oh, and for a guy who's probably about 70 years old, who was once on a strict diet of human flesh, doesn't really look like he's got a lot of veggies and fruit in his meal planning. So he did seem pretty agile for a man of that age who's morbidly obese and about 6'4". Is a little bit too far-fetched. And if you're curious what I thought about this film, the first time I saw it, there is actually a review I did a couple years ago. If you want to do some searching and just Google whatever my name and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and a bunch of shit will come up because I've done a lot of talking about this film or the series anyway. But if you want to see my other review. But anyway, what else is here? He set a couple seemingly traps that I can't imagine him really having the ability to do, but again, who knows? He just seemed very smart. And then the part where they're that abandoned theater and they go through the floor into that pool of water, and they're down there for an awful long time. And then the Sally Yarkin's character, I forget their characters' names, climbs up and he sort of shamoos his way up in the air and then grabs her like he just kind of jumps up out of the water a little bit, not his full body, but it's like, what are you jumping off from? I mean, I don't know how deep this thing was, but it seemed like it was deeper than they were. So, but and yeah, he takes a shotgun blast to the chest. I don't care how big you are. You take a shotgun blast to the chest, you are not getting up from that. You are dead. You are done. Or severely injured enough that, yeah, you're not going to be getting up and running around chasing people still. So that was a little hokey. And then, again, with Sarah Yarkin's character, right just after the Leatherface reveal, and he's already killed the other character, the male character. He throws a sledgehammer at her, hits her. She goes flying through the air and through the floor, and then under the ground through the floor, and then still has enough strength to roll over and run away from the saw that he's magically cutting through the floor really, really smoothly with a saw that size. I don't really see cutting through floorboards quite without any sort of a little bit of resistance, and then through a metal pipe full like poop. But anyway, I think if someone I've picked up sledgehammers. I have to use one at work once in a while. And if someone were to throw it at you and hit you in the chest or face, you are severely injured. You're not getting up from that if you survive it at all, and then fall through a floor and then still be perfectly fine for the rest of the movie. So it's yeah, no. But these are some of the bad things. I think that was about it. Yeah. But let's get on to some of the good stuff, because there are good things about this film. So I don't want to just shit talk the whole thing, because I've done that almost with a couple of the other films, threw in a couple good things. But there are actually some good things about this movie that I like. For example, the mask design is really cool. It's completely different than the original. It does look real and gory and creepy. I like it a lot. It doesn't look like any of the other masks. It doesn't look like it's trying to copy any of the previous masks. It's doing its own thing. It's really, I mean, he didn't sew any of it, because you see him cutting it off his like mother sort of character's face after she passes away. Spoiler alert. But and then puts it on, and it's a really cool mask. I like it. I think it looks scary. It's probably my second favorite mask out of them all, to be quite honest, because it just looks real. Had some good jump scares in it. Some really creepy scenes where if you're watching the scene with the main male character in the film, what was the actor's name? I've forgotten his character. Oh, I think his character's name. I want to say Dante. That's what it is. Dante. I was going to say Duncan, Dylan. No, Dante. So Dante. He when he's walking through the house, and he's taking the Confederate flag off the flagpost. If you look in the background, you can actually see Leatherface in one of the corners, just sort of off to the side. There's a little creepy factor. And then the part where he's in the kitchen, Leatherface is behind him. You don't know he's behind him yet. And he just turns the pan and sees the reflection, and you see him behind him with the mask. Really creepy, really eerie. Excellent scene. Well, like that is probably the best, just quick shot in the movie, like quick kind of scare in the film. It's just eerie, and you see it, and you're like, "Oh, that was good. I like that." And yeah, there is, like, touching on that as well. The creepy factor. It's dark. It's not gritty and raw like fucking motorcycles, the crotch rockets zipping by every night. But it's not as creepy and raw, obviously, as the original film. But it's for what it is, being a newer movie and trying to sort of be a little edgy and dark that way. It's well done for the most part. Like it does look good. Like visually, it's a good movie. It's not over the top, like just all bright and shiny. It's dark. A lot of it takes place. Parts of it take place in the rain, and it looks good. So aesthetically, it's an excellent film. The gore factor is also, there's a lot of gore in this film, a ton of gore, and touching on that as well, there is actually finally a chainsaw massacre in the film. Like there are other films where people are getting cut up, but this he literally goes on a bus and just kills everybody. There's blood everywhere, and that scene is also really well done. It doesn't look. What else are you going to do on a Wednesday night at midnight? But anyway, yeah. So that scene, it seems like it should be over the top and exaggerated, but it's actually really well done. Like they're trapped on the bus and he's just doing his thing. Holy fuck, there's these assholes out here on the motorcycles every fucking night. They got no lives. This is all they do. That's it. Fucking losers, little wieners. Sorry, I just hate rude people like that. But anyway, yeah, actual massacre. It's well done. It's over the top, but believably over the top, if that makes sense. And also the scene when they get on, and as soon as they see him, total, I'm going to say influencer, also Gen Z, and I would probably do the same thing. I'm not going to lie. Pulls their phone up, but it's just how it's all done at the exact same time. It makes it a really funny scene, intentionally funny. And so I really like that shot. It was just kind of like so modern, like how it is. So and then as the scene's happening, they're live streaming it obviously, and you're seeing all the comments. Is this real? I want to go there. Check this place out. Oh, that looks so fake. So that whole scene it's got humor in it. It's got violence in it. It's not unbelievably over the top. It's really entertaining. And then one of the guys in there, and he says, "Try anything, and you're so canceled." Which the first time I saw it, I never heard that expression before. So when he said cancel, I thought, oh, that sounds kind of badass. Like cancel, like you're done, you're over, like physically, like they're going to kill him, kind of thing. I didn't think it meant like influencer, Gen Z. Well, we're canceling you. Mm-hmm. No, I didn't think that's what it meant, but now I know the term, so it's less funny for me now, or it's more funny for me now, but less cool, if that makes sense. Um, and actually, for the most part, the characters were kind of likable. Even the ones on the bus that would be normally annoying, they're actually likable characters for the movie. The main characters were all pretty likable. They weren't annoying. The one girl had the backstory about her school being shot up. Was that necessary? It didn't really have much to do with the film, but it also showed flashbacks when she was lying down and everybody's getting killed around her on the bus, which she obviously survives just by, well, main character. So and it sort of paralleled the two, her something she already experienced to this, so she got a lot of shit going on in her head. But there's also a part, though, I meant to mention this before, when Sally Hardesty locks them in the back of her truck for reasons, and she's off trying to kill Leatherface, and they're just sitting in the truck. I'm like, you're in a car, you're in a vehicle, just smash it. They can't get out. Try in the door, let us out, let us out. There's no bars on the window. Just break the window. Do something. Kick through the window. Your life depends on it. Like, I was just like, that makes no sense. Why are you not breaking the window like, a person would? But anyway, I was just touching back on something I forgot to mention. But generally speaking, yeah, what I rated this one still pretty low. I think I rated it about a 5. I know that most of the ratings, it's usually around a 3.5 to a 4, not much higher than Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, but definitely a much better film. Doesn't have Matthew McConaughey freaking out and making the film really crazy that way, but still, overall, it's not a bad film. Do I recommend checking it out? Well, honestly, yeah. If you're Texas Chainsaw Massacre and you haven't, for some reason, seen it yet, and you got Netflix, it's there, or on one of those cajillion now, like Vidius and all those free sites that have like every single movie in existence on it. The only problem is you can't cast with them. You have to actually look at them on your phone, which kind of sucks. But yeah, check it out if you haven't already. There is also one kind of cool thing is that if you want to sit through the whole end credits or just scroll past them, There is a post-credit scene where Leatherface is just walking down the. You see him walking down the street, and then to the original house from the original film, or the house from the original film, the family house. Then he just casually starts walking towards it. However, I do have one questionable thing. How did he get from where he was to the house? How did he know how to get to where he was to that house? And how did nobody notice this 6'5" hulking man covered in blood, carrying a bloody chainsaw and a dead skin mask walking down the street? See what I did there too? Yeah, it was for the Slayer fans. But yeah, with the mask and everything covered in blood, just casually walking down the street. I think someone's going to pick up on that. Or they're going to drive by him and they might make a little call on their own cell phones. I saw this guy. But that's just a little nitpick from the end of the film. It is a good post-credit scene. And I didn't even know it had it until I looked it up. So it's the first time I actually saw it of the few times I've seen the film. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about this film. This is my quick little, well, it's ran longer than I thought, but my review on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is my 4th review, and I will be watching part 3 probably tomorrow, and so look forward to my review on that one. And I guess that's all I'm going to say about this. So if you want to subscribe, help me get up to 1,000 subs, like, comment. I do love the comments. I love the banter. And I guess until the next one, bye.